top 10 of the regular season. It'll give you some sense of who we like in the playoffs going forward. Joy Taylor is joining me on a robust, dynamic Tuesday. Joy, how are you?
I am doing better than Doug Pederson.
Not great 24 hours for Doug Pederson.
having a rough go.
Philadelphia Eagle head coach. Let's start with that. You would never go to a restaurant 3 straight times, get bad service, have spotty food, and go, that's a well-run restaurant. You would never go to a car dealership and buy 3 straight cars and they're lemons and think that is really a well-run car dealership. But there's a weird thing about sports and loyalty, and you put the city's name on the uniform, and let's be honest about the Philadelphia Eagles, and we sort of predicted this, didn't we? They couldn't handle a little success. We've all had the loser brother-in-law, coworker, family member. They make a little lettuce job promotion. 2 years later, they're a bigger mess than they've ever been. A lot of lottery winners end up selling off the timeshares and jet skis now, don't they? Philadelphia is now just Dallas, but has worse weather. They're just loud. This morning I was doing a loud meter in the NFL for our TV audience, and there is a striking similarity between the louder the teams, the more they underachieve. Jets, Cowboys, Browns, Eagles. Yes, the Steelers have been loud for several years, got quieter this year, but they've underachieved. And the quietest teams in the league, what a shock. Buffalo, Baltimore, for most of the New England dynasty, for the record. You didn't hear a lot of stories breaking. It was the very end when it unraveled that you did. For all the stars Tampa Bay Buccaneers have, Gronk and Brady, Antonio Brown, they've got all Mike Evans, all sorts of stars. The only one we ever hear of is Bruce Arians, talks about once every 2 weeks, and we have to comment on it. They're pretty quiet. Let's just move the Philadelphia Eagles from well-run operation to loud operation. Here's the latest story. Multiple players were shocked and outraged that Doug Pederson, the coach, benched Jalen Hurts in the middle of a competitive game. One player, offensive starter Jason Kelce, questioned the coach directly on the stunning decision. According to this story, the owner or the GM, Howie Roseman, may have ordered the benching of Jalen Hurts to get somebody involved from the bench to tank and get a better draft spot. God, this is just the classic. They had a little success and they couldn't handle it. Everybody got a book deal, a car dealership deal. Everybody got a movie role. Everybody was at the parade, drank a little too much, hung over for the last 3 years. Because this is what Philadelphia is. It's funny, New England had a dynasty for 20 years, and they were adults the whole time. Philadelphia won a Super Bowl. They started lecturing everybody on how to win. Remember that? You got to have fun in this league. Not really. You got to win in this league. That's what New England did for 20 years. You did 1 year. Since the Super Bowl, here's what Philadelphia is. A losing team. 22 wins, 25 losses, and a tie. That's in a bad division. That's not in the NFC West or the AFC South with all those quarterbacks. That's in a division where Washington and the Giants and Dallas have had chaos. Just say this out loud. Last 3 years, losing team, lot of noise, quarterback controversy, and no cap space next year. Sound like a good restaurant? If I said bad menu, terrible service, lot of complaints with the health board, sound like a well-run restaurant? If I said bad service department, lots of lemons, weak sales staff, sound like a good car dealership? Philadelphia's Dallas with worse weather. That's what they've become. Cap space issues. I mean, the last time they drafted a Pro Bowler was Carson Wentz, and now he doesn't like the organization. What a mess. Doug Pederson taking his future star quarterback, Jalen Hurts, pulling him out of a winnable game so that he can get a third-stringer reps. By the way, I heard this yesterday on Sports Talk Radio. My ears were bleeding. Some guy called a Sports Talk radio station. You know, they put in Nate Sudfeld to just get a spark. What? He'd been at practice for 3 years. If you're an NFL head coach, practice lets you know who can play, not just games. If you thought Nate Sudfeld was going to give you some dynamic athletic spark over Jalen Hurts, you should be fired for that. For that alone. Philadelphia. All right, so, Warren Buffett's a legendary stock picker in America. He's one of the most successful. And his whole theory is buy value. When stuff's beaten down and everybody no longer wants it, that's when you go in and buy it.